Thank you very much, and greetings from Chesterfield and North Derbyshire. Congratulations to Barnsley Trades Council for organising this May Day rally in Chesterfield. We've now been going 40 years since May Day was made into a bank holiday, and we've built a big event there, and you can do that too, and this is a great start, so well done. I've been asked to say a few things about Sports Direct and solidarity with the ASOS speaker and workers, because there's many similarities between those organisations. Let me take you back 3 years. The union was presented with a situation where we've got an employer, one of the richest men in the country. We've got thousands of ununionised workers, many of them migrant workers, many of them couldn't speak English. How do you set about trying to unionise this workforce? When you look at the problems, you think, it's not worth it, it's too much trouble. But fantastically, unite together with support from the Trades Council and other trade unions within North Derbyshire and then throughout the country, and with international links as well. As you know, there's not many people now have not heard about the abuses at the Shirebrook factory. Now, Sports Direct was actually built in Shirebrook on the site of the former colliery. And it's interesting when you think back to the origins of May Day and the reasons why May Day first came about, that at that time, say in the late to 19th century, early part of the 20th century, miners in Derbyshire Notts border area weren't employed by the coal owners. They were employed by butty men. Men used to go to the pub, the colliery would pay butty men, and they would then subcontract to hire labour within the pub. There are still people in Chesterfield today who remember being carried on the dad's shoulders down to the pub on a Sunday for the reckoning, where they were paid after a tin. And all the Sports Direct really have done is go back to the forms of employment that took place before unionisation. Now, what the situation with the reason why the butty men existed, the reason why the collieries didn't employ the men, was to prevent trade union organisation. That's what it was about. And this is what it's about today with Sports Direct. A few of the workers are unionised who have permanent contracts, but the 4,000 employees who work through the warehouse weren't unionised. So we set about, 3 of us from the Chesterfield North Derbyshire Unite Community Branch bought shares in Sports Direct. Well, 1 each. And we went in and we took over the AGM. There were only about 10, 15 people there. This is going back 2.5 years ago. And at that meeting we outlined the issues that were facing the workers. We'd had a woman give birth in the toilets in the factory. People were being kept behind between 25 and 45 minutes in the workplace whilst they were being searched, in their own time, not getting paid. Bullying was taking place, sexual harassment, the famous 6 strikes and you're out policy that the firm were taking. They tried to ignore what we said, but we told them that it was, if they didn't talk to the trade union, if they didn't start changing their ways, this would not only affect there's a problem for the workers, it would be a problem for them, because investors and shareholders would suffer as the brand became toxic. And be honest, they laughed at us. They sat there and they laughed at us. But outside, we had a demonstration. Across the country, I'm sure you helped here in Barnsley, we had people all over outside Sports Direct shops with direct actions. Banners appeared at football matches, Newcastle, England match, Rangers. And then all of a sudden, Sports Direct was suddenly not just an issue for the unions, it became an issue for the Institute of Directors, it became an issue for MPs. Everybody was talking about Sports Direct. And unwillingly, Mike Ashley was dragged in front of the Business Select Committee, where he was had to admit that he was unable to run the firm. Now, the battle is not over. Through the great solidarity that's taken place, they're around the negotiating table. We've had great victories. £10 million was got in back pay for those workers who were denied the national minimum wage by being kept behind at work without pay. Union membership has risen. Reps courses are now being run. We have ESOL classes for English language classes taking place, which are involving loads and loads of workers, where we find out the issues that are in the workplace. It's been a great campaign, but it won't be won until we can get rid of the abuse of agency labour. This is crucial to it. And the reason that I mention this is I have worked for 35 years organising in unemployed worker centres. That's what I've been doing. Everybody who's unemployed has to go down now when they sign on. You first sign on, should you be made redundant tomorrow, you go to sign on. One of the first things they will make you do is sign up for an agency, at least 2 agencies. You have to do it. And so, yes, let's argue for £10 an hour, but for many people, we need to organise. A lot of people feel they're unable to organise because they're trapped in agency work. One of the things that the Sports Direct campaign showed is when you shine a light on what happens in these factories like Sports Direct and ASOS, you'll find all this abuse taking place. Why don't we know about it? The reason why we don't know about it is because workers who are on 0 hours contract and agency work will fear bringing any grievance in the workplace because they feel they will not get any work tomorrow, next week and for the future. So when Mike Ashley said he was unaware of a lot of things that were happening in the factory, in some senses it's true, because how would he be aware? Because all they did was they sent out their HR to Transline, who have gone into administration this week, and to Best Connection. And so, unless we can start to, through the trade union movement and through the politicians, to limit the abuse of agency labour and to ban 0 hours contract, then that's when we start to get the victories. So thank you very much for all the support on the Sports Direct campaign, but it's not just about Sports Direct. It's right across the sectors, particularly in the care sectors through to education, where abuse of 0 hours and agency is taking place. We are trying to shine a light not just on Sports Direct but across all those sectors, and we're conducting a piece of research at the moment which we hope to get big publicity for the stories that are coming out about the abuse of workers through these systems. So thanks once again for your support. Congratulations for your May Day. Let's hope that next May Day we can see the end of 0 hours contracts and the reining in of the abuse of agency workers. Thank you.